Sagittarius? How you guys doing? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. Happy to have you all out there with me today for your November monthly tarot reading. I cannot believe it's November already. I hope this video finds you guys well. The first half-ish, probably a little more than half, will be career, money, finances, things of that sort. Second half will be love and romance. I will try to remember to timestamp down below if you want to hop right to it. But happy to have you guys. As always, please come into these general messages here on YouTube with an open heart and an open mind. If it's not your message, that's okay. You can simply click off. It won't be your message every time. It is my goal, it is my aim, my intention that many of these messages, at least pieces and parts of them, will resonate for you. Takeaway messages today that offer you confirmation on things you're already thinking or feeling, things that motivate you, inspire you, empower you. That's what I'm trying to do here today. If you're feeling lackluster or saddened by what's coming up, please don't take away those messages. Do have faith they're going out to someone else who needs to hear it, and that might be confirmations for them, okay? Yes, use your intuition, your logic, your discernment. That's important as well, okay? And ultimately, I was going to say, let's try and have some fun as Three of Cups comes out. I love that. We're going to take that, Sagittarius. All right, so everything else about this video, guys, down in the box below, the decks I'm using, how to contact me for a personal reading. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram.com. Check that out if you are interested. If not, happy to have you on YouTube, right? All right, I hope you had a swell October and a happy Halloween. My God, it's November. It's November, guys. November. All right, let's get 6 more cards for Sag and we'll hop in. Coming out, Sagittarius, career, money, finances, jobs. Shuffle. Take the ones that poke out at me. All right, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, coming out a lot these times. 3 more cards for Sagittarius, please. What does Sagittarius need to know about money, career, finances? 2, 3. All right, let's do it. Ending it off with a tower. Interesting. All right. So bottom of the deck is Justice. I like that a lot, especially because Justice, it is a Libra card by nature. It does talk about equilibrium, but it does typically talk about either contracts, anything involving government jobs, monies, loans, payouts. Yeah, it talks about like the scales tipping in your favor, something working out in your favor. It is just, it is fair. So anybody involving careers regarding almost like humanitarian efforts, I could even see that, like we're doing it out of goodness in our heart to make sure it's an equal playing field, like things leveling off and there's balance and harmony in this card. Blind justice, right? Yeah, anybody doing anything involving the government or courthouses or something about that will be very positive. So hopefully that's a confirmation for some of you already. Some of you feel like you're just wandering blindly, though. It's like you don't really have a clear sense of aim or direction because, yeah, it's almost like you started to go down a path with something, and I'm assuming possibly, maybe due to COVID or some other issue, right? You feel like it got blocked or delayed, and now you're just like, well, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I just started this job, or whatever the situation was, it's like you just got started, and then something, if it wasn't completely ended, and maybe it was, I don't know. I'm not necessarily predicting that, but something, it's like you just got started, and then boom, hangman mode set in, right? Sorry, let me show you the right card. And it's like, it's been incredibly delayed, and it's like you're getting bored and frustrated or just feeling a lack of energy, right? There's kind of like a laziness to this card where maybe you sort of come to the recognition that you've been coasting or you've been gliding along. Maybe you haven't been challenging yourself enough and you're ready to get like your head back into the game to start. Yeah, exactly. Thinking more, creatively, that's not the word I'm looking for. Strategically. You're starting to think more strategically about your future. The Star card, which is all about your hopes, your dreams, and wishes. It's about blessings coming in for you, aligning to your divine purpose. Yeah, if there was a moment or pause and delay of contracts or anything in your life where you're just like, oh my God, will the waiting ever end? It seems like somewhere in the timeline of November, you're getting super motivated to get back in there. You may be working on some sort of very like a team where there's a lot of intense collaboration. I don't know if it's people screaming and shouting at each other, but even if that's the case, I'm almost getting it's in a very collaborative, like, what is the term for that? Like, almost like commission-based roles where it's like every man for himself, but there's actually a very fun dynamic to it. It sounds like very likely something involving like a sales career where it's like, what is the term for that? There is not animosity, friendly competition. It's friendly competition, but it's very intense. I'm almost getting like those stock market people, or like people yelling at each other and whiteboarding this and that. And there's something about the timeline of whatever you guys are producing. There's a need to fire on all cylinders, and ironically, it's the complete opposite of what you've been doing or haven't been doing, right? There's some sort of spark or intensity that really motivates you, and it's like you're in it. You're in it, but here's the thing with the star card, you're loving it. This might be something brand new, where maybe at first you were too intimidated to do it, or that doesn't sound very Sagittarian, but you know what I mean? There was something about it where you didn't totally understand, or you didn't know if you could, but it seems like you try something out and you're like, why didn't I do this years ago? This feels intense and crazy and fun. And again, working in a team dynamic, but also there's a huge amount of responsibility for how much you're able to make on your own. And I do think so this opportunity, the idea of it is going to come to you in Scorpio season. I'm not sure if the opportunity comes into you in terms of sign on the dotted line, right? The contract, it might, right? Again, timeline manifestation is up to you. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just saying these are energies that you can take advantage of, Sagittarius, but it does involve the ending of something else. And for some of you Sagittarians, it has to do with allowing some sort of ending that came into your life. Allow it to like taper off organically rather than holding on to it, or even holding on to the idea of what used to be. Especially, I just have to say it, I'm not predicting this, but if you got a job and then it was taken away from you out of your control, right? Given the circumstances of all the craziness of 2020, rather than lingering on, but that was my dream job and shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and maybe if I hang around a little bit longer, they'll call me back, and I'm not saying they won't, especially, maybe you got furloughed, right? Eventually, it seems like it'll tip in your favor, right? That's typically what justice is. But by waiting and waiting and waiting, I sort of feel like the universe is saying, you're actually missing out on something that we're trying to get you to see. It's like we're trying to align you to the, correct path, if you believe in that. There is no wrong path, Sagittarius. Whatever you do, you will find success in. But it seems like this one, you would sort of enjoy more because it's just more fun and lively and dynamic, and you're working with people who seem very intense but very intelligent. You may actually be working with a group of Scorpios or someone in this group. It could be maybe your wife or your husband is a Scorpio and they get you that job connection or whatever it is, something involving a Scorpio, or again, it's a timestamp of Scorpio season. I can't remember if I finished my thought, but you do need to let something die out organically, and it's whatever you're holding on to, but there's no physical evidence of it around you. It's a job you desire, but they're not paying you to do it. If there's no passion left in it, universe is just simply asking, why are we still holding on to this when the Hanged Man inevitably must transition into the Death card, right? 12 to 13. There's something that needs to be sacrificed and let go of. Again, probably a contract that either was negated or I'm hearing refuted. Something went haywire with a contract. If you sever it once and for all, and again, release the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, this comes in and I'm just getting, it's so much more fun. It's fun, Sagittarius. It may even involve something regarding sports or athletics. Again, a team thing. And I mean, I know times are weird. So again, the safety of all this is entirely up to you. I know we're not really supposed to be advocating, big group things. So whatever this is, again, the timeline might not be exactly in November, right? But something about this, it's feisty and it's competitive, but it's friendly and fun competition. It makes you want to show up to work every day and kick ass and do your best. And it seems like it could be very lucrative, and the fact that it's being accompanied with the star, that's what makes this all the more enticing to me. If it was just the Five of Wands, this can sometimes be tricky energy. It can be kind of savage, everyone fighting and being a little bit sassy. With this, though, it's like, no. Like, this is a blessing that this group dynamic, it's like they like to get up in there. They like to rile each other up, but it's to get the best performance out of everybody. I'm just going to throw it out there, Sag. This could even be like a stage group or a musical group or some sort of act where you guys do it together and there's healthy competition because you want everybody to do their best. You guys get that? Okay, you get it. All right, let's... Some of you might be traveling, especially over big bodies of water, so it could be long distance travel, especially either to see your child or or with your child, or I don't know, something involving a child. You may even be, I don't know if they would be going to a special school where you would have to travel to go. I don't know. This sounds like the beginning of a horror movie. I don't know. Something about you're traveling to see something with your child. Maybe you guys are thinking about moving and you're having to look at different houses and homes or something. But I do sort of sense either a single parent or something about maybe you're going to visit. I don't know. Whatever that is. It's coming up in the cards. So if that's your message, take it and run with it. I just don't really know the relevance of it, so I'm not going to dig that much deeper. Anyway. So let's talk about this. That looks very exciting. Again, reasons to celebrate, a toast in your honor. Maybe you got word of a new job, or maybe it's almost like the floodgates broke and all of a sudden people are hiring again, or you're being reunited with coworkers or friends you haven't seen in a long time. This could just simply be hanging out with friends who you haven't seen in a long time, but it's very lighthearted. It's very social. It's very fun energy. Some of you are going to go hiking with a big group of friends, or you're going to join like a hiking group. I don't know what that has to do with your career, but maybe you work in an outdoorsy, retail store and you sell hiking equipment, or I don't know, something like that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's see. But there's anxiety about children, or there's anxiety about your family coming to visit you. Or there's anxiety that other people in your life are always one step ahead, especially if you have a lot of siblings and it feels like they're getting married and they're having babies, or they're buying their own house, or it seems like their accomplishments are starting to add up. And I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is what's potentially going on in some of your head. You start to feel like you're the lesser of the children. Something about the family dynamics. It's ironic. This is friendly competition, and it also feels like, at least subconsciously, maybe you're conscious of it too, you sort of feel like you're competing with your siblings, and yet you feel a little bit lackluster. Particularly if you have a sister or multiple sisters. It seems like your sister has some big news to share, and it's not that you're not excited for them. You are. There isn't like this savage, like bitter jealousy. There might be like a tinge of that, but overall it's just like, oh man, like why am I not performing that way? Or why am I, do you understand what I mean? You're comparing yourself too much to other Sagittarius. You need to stop doing that, because this is your life, baby, right? You have your own path to follow. And the thing is, you're like hot on the trail. You're headed in the right direction. You know, you're walking to the North Star, but it's like, for some of you, I feel like you're holding on to an old opportunity. Is it almost for I'm not trying to offend you, but it's almost like for superficiality, because the title looks good, or the paycheck was good, or almost like you want to get like the pat on the head, like, yes, good job, you know? But it's like, but there was, I don't know, I'm just sort of getting, it was a little bit lackluster. Something about it was either putting you to sleep, it was boring, even though it was a great role or a great title or for a great business. I don't know. I'm rooting for this one. I gotta be honest, Sagittarius. I actually want to pull a card. So for Sagittarius, if they're waiting to be called back, or they're on a furlough, or they're waiting for something to pan out in a positive direction with this contract or with this court case, can we give them anything else on that? It's undecided yet. We just don't know, especially the timeline of it too. So yeah, if you're waiting for like immediate word, the moon does not bode well for, yes, absolutely. It's a darker energy. It's a little bit foggy. It's confusion. Sometimes there's an element of like illusion, or like substance abuse. Like, I'm so high, I'm so drunk. Like there might be, and I don't really know what that has to do with it, but it's like, I don't know. I'm as a reader would not hold my breath on this one, especially if it has to do with a Pisces. I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, what are you celebrating? A lot of you are like going to take some trip or some sort of journey to go hang out with your friends. And again, hiking. Maybe you're just planning like a really fun couple days of hiking in the woods, or doing some sort of physical activity, some sort of sports activity. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Some of you are also attending some sort of family celebration. It could be a graduation or a reunion or a baby shower. But again, something about this is giving you a lot of anxiety. And so it's like you have to mentally prepare yourself to go to it. I'm not saying you should have to do that. It's not even that I'm predicting that. I'm saying, what's the deal? Why is this feeling like almost a prison sentence to go celebrate something so lighthearted? it might just be that you have a lot of emotional baggage. I am sort of getting with a sibling, and I don't know why this is coming into your work spread, but it is. Something about it may be impacting your finances. Maybe you and your sister, you and your sibling are supposed to collaborate on something, but because there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's resentment, but awkwardness. It's like the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. You're missing out on a really beautiful opportunity. But the thing is, you're still showing up. You're putting on a good face, but on the inside, there's something that's sort of crippling you a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense. And I do feel like it has to do with children. Or you may have felt like an opportunity passed you by and it went to your sibling when it was supposed to go to you. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to try and get through this. Give me a second. Some of you are event planners, or you're at like fancy events. I feel like I say that to you a lot, Sagittarius. Travel agents, or some of you working on something with travel. Helping people with maps and again, hiking in the woods. I don't know if you're like a guide or I don't know what that is, Sagittarius. What's the deal here? I don't get this. This whole resentment, or I don't even want to say that, because it's not that you're being a jerk. You're not. In fact, you're faking it. You're putting on a good face, but you're sad on the inside. Some of you are, I think you're just agitated because you're really ready to, like, dare I say, settle down, Sagittarius? Don't shoot the messenger. But I am getting something about wanting so badly to measure up to someone or to just be in a similar spot. It may feel like, again, all of your friends are getting married, or all your friends are having babies, or all, siblings, whatever it is. And you're like, but that's so not me. I'm just like, I'm a lone wolf. I'm venturing off doing my own thing. And it feels like I never quite find it. You're going to, I can tell you that. But also, it's not about measuring yourself up against other people. And I don't mean to like keep reiterating that, but I think that's important for some of you to hear. A lot of you are going to a wedding or some sort of fancy party. And a lot of you are waiting for your love life to really take off and thrive. It feels like a lot of you may have had a hit and a miss. Or I'm sorry, swing and a miss, especially with a Leo, possibly a Cancer. And a lot of you still contemplate, it's like you brought an ending to that and you're still like, but should I or shouldn't I have? Or there's a lot of confusion about your path, and I think it's delaying you. So, and I don't know, rather than kind of like that beautiful energy of I'm just going to go and discover life and enjoy it and, be curious about things and make new discoveries, for myself, for the hell of it, which is that I think is such a great mentality. That's always something I'm so like, again, jealous of, right? For the Sagittarian energy, there's like this beautiful free spirit to a lot of you out there. Certainly not everybody, but like, that is like such a gift, like a gift that you were born with, and that's something you don't want to lose. Always be curious, always go on adventures, right? That will suit you to help you find the right person or help you find the right job. But it feels like a lot of you, it's like you've been doing that and it hasn't been giving you the results you want, or something has recently happened where you haven't been able to do that. Maybe that's COVID, right? You haven't been as social, or you can't go out to all the places. And it's really, it feels like it's burdening you mentally. Some of you may just be grappling with like a little bit of depression or anxiety about something. There is some sort of apprehension about going to see someone who's celebrating something big in their life. I'm trying to read for career and finances, I promise, but I don't know what to make of that. So you guys are going to have to fill in the pieces. I'm going to move on and tell you a little bit more about your career and money, because I'm just sort of stuck on that and I'm not really getting much else. It may have to do with an inheritance of some kind. It may have to do with an awkward issue regarding family money or a medical bill. It could be that you owe somebody, it could be that you owe somebody a great amount of money, and until it's like you're out of debt, you always feel very awkward or uncomfortable around them. So as much as you want to feel like you're part of the gang, again, there's just something about this where you feel less than, like you don't have the degree, or you don't have the job title, or you don't have the paycheck, or I don't know, I just don't like it. And I mean, I'm not here to judge you and make you feel bad. I'm saying you're taking on this mental burden, this mental baggage that nobody's really looking at you like, like you're the odd man out, Sagittarius. No one's thinking that about you. So we got to get you to stop thinking those negative thoughts. Because it is, in a sense, it's like it's killing you. It's crushing your creativity. It's crushing your freedom. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Again, with the anxiety, you do have a good amount of heavy cards here, but you also have some really good ones too. So you have the King of Swords. This is about empowering yourself, and it's like, I just heard how Stella got her groove back. More or less, that's what I'm getting for you. It's like, we got to get you back to like the fun, caring, charismatic, creative, spiritual being that you are. Because like, you have all this potential. You are just a well of everything, but it's stopped up. And yeah, a lot of you, it's like you're just feeling under the weather or just really overwhelmed. And especially in Scorpio season, right? You're a fire sign, so maybe we're in that very heavy scorpionic transformative kind of watery energy. You might just be feeling like stressed or overwhelmed, or if it's not that, it's just like sort of numb. It's like, what am I even doing anymore? Like, the world doesn't make sense. Can we just hit reset already and like be done with 2020? That's sort of what this feels like. In the center of your spread is the King of Swords. Yes, it is a female in this deck, which I think is really cool. And it's very empowering. Is it time for you to get back on stage? It's time for you to find the spotlight again and to find your voice. I think that's very important, because something about this whole awkward situation in a group dynamic, it feels like there's some sort of important truth that you've been wanting to say, or something that you've wanted to speak up on, but you've been holding back because of fear or anxiety or about how others might take it. Some of you need to find a more creative way to express it. Maybe that just has to do with your artwork. I don't know what that is. Tell me more. I'm stuck on your Sagittarius. It's kind of, it's an interesting spread here, but what does this have to do with career? I mean, anybody who works in the entertainment industry, singers, dancers, actors, actresses, I'm thinking of La La Land. It's like, you got to be a one-woman act. You got to be a one-man band or a one-man show right now. But you're actually going to find that you succeed at that with flying colors. Yeah, anybody who's an artist, rather than... this is such a great metaphor. It's cheesy, I know, but it's like, because you're so like currently in a state of mind and comparing yourself to the rest, you need that recognition, that dawning, that epiphany that you're meant to set yourself apart from the pack. You're not meant to blend in with them. So these feelings of, oh, like, why am I the brooding artist and I don't fit in with anyone? Spirit's like, hell no, like, you're not supposed to. It's like part of your karmic lesson is self-acceptance. That's what I would say, because you're meant to lead. You're meant to shine, Sagittarius. You're meant to be the star in the sky. It's almost like you keep looking at others thinking that they're the missing link or the missing part to make your life complete, when like it's existed in you the whole time. God, I sound like Tony Robbins, don't I? Sorry. Yeah, a lot of you theater and stage work. Also anything like making costumes or doing set design, anything very visual, where there's lots of like fabrics or really intense colors. Some of you are quilting, or you're going to inherit a quilt, or your mother or somebody makes you a quilt. I don't know what this is. Sagittarius, what does this have to do with your career? I feel like we're not getting to the main point here. What's the deal with this? Oh, okay. Now we're talking about money. All I had to do is ask the universe. Sudden wealth. We like this. Do we not, Sagittarius? Again, center of your spread is the King of Swords. Swords are air signs, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So particularly if you have strong air in your chart. But more or less, it's about communication, our thoughts, and our expression of our ideas. So within whatever I just said there that strikes a chord with you, that's where the money is. For a lot of you, it's vocalizing. And again, we started this reading saying something about being like an advocate or a humanitarian, fighting for justice, social justice. That may actually be a career where you guys would thrive. Advocating for the underdog. Maybe you are a therapist. Maybe you are a spiritual healer. You're helping heal people with like your natural gifts, your intuitive gifts, I'm hearing. A lot of you have a moon, like a watery moon, like a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces type moon. So you're very psychic, you're very intuitive, and you have very huge talents or skills about Yeah, communicating and fighting for people who need protection or who don't have a voice. You're giving a voice to people who are kept silent. Yeah, you might be doing something in the justice system or being an advocate for, I don't know, fill in the blank. It could even be something like children. Some of you may be helping children express themselves through creative writing or art therapy. Yeah, sometimes a lot of you, it seems like you're healers, but in a more untraditional way, not necessarily a doctor or a nurse, though you certainly could be. You might even do something sort of, witchy, occult, like tarot card reading. You may do, I don't know, fill in the blank, whatever it is. Yeah, I actually see a lot of psychologists. Like, lie on my couch, tell me your problems. That kind of deal. So maybe it is more traditional. So some of you are going to choose to go get a degree that you feel like you always wanted, but you never went after. There's some sort of moment where you recognize that you're meant to go after this. And it may come at a time where if this doesn't represent a career where, again, it's like you guys, there's this healthy competition in the office or the workplace. This could just be among your group of friends. It could be like your sports league or your bowling club or your knitting club or your book club, where there's some moment of illumination or epiphany where somebody mentions something and it confirms something that you've always wanted to do and go after. I think a lot of you resisted or didn't do it because of either what it would appear like to other people or pressure. You may have felt pressure from your family about you have to be a doctor or you have to be a this or whatever it is, but a lot of you have either like a very creative skill or hobby that maybe you were told, oh, you're going to be a struggling artist the rest of your life. But the thing is, you're not, because you're so passionate about it. You're going to find avenues of income for this very artistic gift you have. Others of you, yeah, it's like you're needing to pursue a degree that I don't know. For some reason or another, you were told it would not be a victory. But now that it's like you're older and you're more seasoned and you have a greater perspective, a lot of you are deciding, no, like my intuition was right. I knew what I wanted to be when I was a kid, but I was told that was silly. A lot of you are going to pursue it. A lot of you are going to travel and do some sort of like, some sort of profession that you can do on the road or a great distance. Some of you are going to be college professors and teachers. Tell me more about the sudden wealth card. Stop it. You got great fortune. Sagittarius, at the heart of your spread is money. We like that. I wish I was giving you better clues, but your spread is just very unusual this time around. I don't know what else to say. A lot of you are helping children with, helping children to find their gifts, their creative gifts, their intuitive gifts, some of you are just helping them to rebuild from very difficult experiences they've had in their life. So again, it could be a healer or a mentor or a therapist or a counselor. Again, something about traveling though. So some of you may be working at a job that allows you to travel. Maybe you're a pilot or an airline attendant, or I don't know, maybe you're a bus driver. I don't know what it is, Sagittarius, but a lot of you are traveling. Collegiate type stuff. Some of you are writing your own book, especially poetry. Some of you are just scribbling down lyrics in a journal, and then you're going to start writing songs. And even if it scares the shit out of you, some of you are going to go on stage and recognize that it was meant where you were meant to be the whole time, and you're going to see the reward in it financially. I just keep getting something about quilts. So like bedding, I don't know if this is a gift you inherit, or especially if someone's getting married, you might be like embroidering something for them, or I don't know why. I wouldn't think this is important, and yet it keeps coming up. Some of you are going to get a piece of clothing from your best friend, or discover an old piece of clothing in the attic from your childhood. It might even be a sports jersey. Or something that, again, it rekindles this joy, this magic, this spark in you that you had when you were younger, that it feels like you lost sight of it, or something dimmed your flame or your light. It gets revigorated. But here's the thing. In Scorpio season, there's major transformation, and it's not going to be all sunshine and roses. And I don't say this to scare you. I don't do fear-based readings, but it feels like there's something here that was never fully dealt with. It's like, let's cover it up and not talk about it. The elephant in the room, right? By addressing the elephant in the room, whatever that is to you all, It clears it out of your life so that you can proceed forward and go after whatever it is that you've always wanted to do. Some of you are already doing it and you're there and you're thriving, but you're like, well, what else? All I can say to that is keep empowering yourself. King of Swords, it's like the top tier of intelligence. Keep learning more. Always be open to not only being the teacher, but the student. Where can you gain more knowledge, right? Also, communicating your ideas more. I keep hearing like the cash register. Cha-ching, right? By communicating and speaking your truth, there's more money to be gained there. So again, if you work on a team and you feel very intimidated, or I've given you this message before where you feel like your ideas don't quite land, people don't always understand you. Anybody got Aquarius in their chart? That would make a lot of sense. Or if you're working with an Aquarius for that matter, it's saying continue to contribute ideas, because just because one or two didn't make sense to the team or to your boss or whatever, doesn't mean it was a bad idea. They simply weren't on the same page. And then you got the Page of Wands. Keep communicating, keep expressing that. And finding unique or creative outlets to express what's going on the inside, right? Scorpio season, it's like pulling out from the trenches, things we haven't dealt with and looking at it and then deciding how we want to transform our lives. It really is about power and releasing the control or releasing expectations of how things are supposed to turn out versus being open to what the universe kind of throws at you rather. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep getting out of bed in the morning and doing it, but also be open to the idea of the universe kind of ushering in unexpected positive blessings your way. There's definitely a pursuit of new knowledge, new ideas, new talents, new information. Sorry, my nose is running now. What is Sagittarius waiting on here? Your ships are coming in. You got 3 of Wands twice. What's coming in? Sudden wealth. A decision. Some of you are waiting on someone to make a decision about money, about a job, about what's the deal with that? A Leo. Yeah, we are going to transition into love. If you're waiting on a Leo romantically, they're a little bit flighty or they're just not as committed as you're hoping they're going to be. So take it with a grain of salt. Like if they're good for friendship and maybe some friends with benefits type stuff. But yeah, it seems like they're traveling off in a new direction. And more or less, I'm sort of being told to say you are probably going to be doing the same as well. So this is a bond. This is a strength that you have. It's a relationship that was karmic. You were meant to go through it. But I wouldn't necessarily bind yourself to the idea that this person needs to be in your life, because I quite frankly, I see you sort of walking away from it, but in a positive way. It's not that it was for nothing. You don't need to hold a grudge or be bitter. It's like, okay, that was a fun chapter of my life, but on to bigger and better things. I'm getting something about professional wrestling or like boxing, or it could even be martial arts. I don't know if that's a hobby or like an activity you guys participate in. It's coming up for a reason. Karate, something like that. Maybe it's just doing work on your body physically. It doesn't even have to be like, fighting competition, but sweating, a lot of sweating. I don't know, Sagittarius. Make sure you're taking care of your body. Make sure you're eating right and exercising well. That's important. Your body is your temple. So then you got 9 of Pentacles. Some of you may actually be wanting to move out on your own. You may be moving out of an ex's place, or the opposite. You may be moving in with somebody. It seems like you're actually going to end up in a place where there's either a lot of land or it's a fairly like wealthy community, or you may just be upping the ante of moving from a smaller place to a bigger place. And it seems like having just more space and more, I don't know if it's freedom, but whatever space you're moving into, you seem quite content. You seem quite happy. But you might be a little bit lonely. So if you're moving in with someone, your person may be very busy at their job or with work. Or if you're just moving in and it's your first new place, you might not know your neighbors. You might not know people in the area. So you're going to have to find activities to keep you busy. Again, exercise and physical fitness. For a lot of you, someone's waiting for you to come visit them. Is this your mother? Is this your spouse? Someone's waiting for you to come visit them? Even in the hospital, if you have somebody who's ill, visiting them would do you very well, or would do both of you well. It would be a welcomed experience for both of you. It would be very healing too. It would help you gain perspective too. Especially a father. You may avoid them. You may have an awkward relationship with your father, but there's still time to bridge the gap. Yeah, it's like there's still time to go from like the confusion of the chaos between you guys and make it smooth, going from rocky emotions to smoother waters. It's time to smooth it over. This could even be with an ex partner who, and they might even be married by now, but yeah, if you're still carrying around mental baggage and you can't seem to get rid of it, it's okay to revisit something to clear it from you, like once and for all. You don't need to be afraid of that. It wouldn't be met with opposition. It would be just. It would be recalibrating the scales, and it would be good for both of you. Some of you are working with animals. You may participate in like seminars about healing animals, or and maybe you're just studying medicine and veterinarian type stuff. Some of you may raise your own animals, or I don't know what that is, but there's money in it. There's really good money in it. You're like of mice and men. You're living off the fat of the land. That's what I see. A lot of stuff with nature and animals. That doesn't shock me, Sagittarius. The centaurs. So if you're starting your own business that has been run out of your house, I see it growing, and I see you adding new people to the team. If you have children, I also seeing you passing a business on to your children or teaching them the trade, or vice versa. Your parents may be handing over a business to you, and whether you choose to work for it or sell it, there's a big sum of money or a chunk of money that could be made there. This does kind of feel like it has to do with a father figure, so whoever you are in that, matter, but it doesn't have to be. It could also, the Emperor could just be you being your own boss. In fact, that might suit you very well, particularly involving anything like agriculture, land, houses, real estate, realtors, anything kind of King of Pentacles related, earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but anything with food, anything with building houses or agriculture, gardening, plants, flowers, anything in that arena. Again, there's such a, actually, I don't think I said this to you. This was another reading, but like a student-teacher type dynamic. Maybe some of you are literally going to be teachers. In that case, you have like a special student, especially in Aries, who's fascinated by you, and you may not realize this, but you are going to be hugely influential in that person's life about teaching them this skill or this trade. Some of you just need to hang out with your kids more. There's like an appreciation, especially for a young sun, particularly an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Passing on skills and knowledge, but it's more like life skills and even like spiritual knowledge in a sense. For any of my single Sagittarians, male or female, you may have an earth sign interested in you. You may have an Aries interested in you. You may have someone dropping in to come visit you, especially a Leo. And then what is your wish fulfillment? Because the wish fulfillment card is here. So it's saying if you don't know what that is, it's time to figure that out. Throw me a couple more. With the water sign, the Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, your wishes come true. Does that mean we should switch to love? Again, that could be a parent or something with the repairing an awkward family dynamic has come through so many times, or again, possibly someone who you used to be linked to romantically. It's like we're ridding ourselves of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and the baggage. We're making it right so that we can live our best life, and we're not carrying around this, why did I do that? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I say this? Why did I say that? We need to be done with that, Sagittarius. Let's let the money come in. Something about this awkward family dynamic is impacting your money. So I'm just putting that out there, okay? Yeah. Either that or there's a water sign who views you as their wish fulfillment. I know, we're going to transition to love. I just want to finish out the... But know that you can read this through either lens, career and finances or love. What does that have to do? So there might be a job offer that you may have been, again, you shied away from it, but it was always kind of like low-key your wish fulfillment, particularly something in antiques. Or something that your grandmother was involved in, or a grandmother, grandfather. It could have been like a generational thing where... Yeah, I'm getting a lot of you discuss this when you were a child with your grandparents. Like even, if you were lining up dolls and your grandmother used to be like, oh, they're going to be a teacher someday. You're goddamn right you are. Like, that's what I mean. Something with the grandmother, and this doesn't have to be someone who's still alive. This could be someone in like the 5D, almost like a guardian angel, spiritual angel kind of looking down on you. The wish fulfillment regarding your career, that something with the grandmother. Something, again, about masks and costumes and creativity. A makeup artist, an actor. It's time to take off the mask and be the authentic you, Sagittarius, not the person you think they want you to be. It's like, don't give in to the crowd. Don't give them everything they want, because it's robbing you of your authenticity, of who you really are at the core. Rather than fighting it, it's like, give into it. Give into what you know you're supposed to be. Stop coming up with reasons why you can't or why you shouldn't and living in fear. It's time to like change your perspective and redirect it as seeing all the beautiful things that could come from this. If you let go of the fears and anxieties surrounding it, if you said that thing you always wanted to say but always held back from, if you pursued that career of your dreams even though it might seem a little bit crazy or a little bit unsteady to everyone around you, it's time to take off the mask. And yeah, it's like, live your authentic truth. In Scorpio season, no love. What is your wish? What is your wish? Again, something with children. A lot of you have like money going towards car repairs or even repairing a boat. It seems like there was a lot of damage done, or water damage. I'm hearing water damage. I don't know if there was a flood or a leak, or again, a lot of kind of random things come up in a financial reading. But yeah, be careful of like water damage or water leaks or something regarding some sort of repair that it could feasibly be a tower moment. So make sure you have a little bit set aside for like an emergency fund. Again, these aren't fear-based readings. It's more just like a heads up. If you think something could cause you a little bit of trouble, you know, empty the lint filter of your dryer so that your machine doesn't explode. It's that type of like, cross your T's and dot your I's, especially on any sort of vehicle you have. If you think it's questionable, get it checked out, get it fixed, because you may be avoiding like a tower moment later on. Yeah. don't let it spank you. That's what I just heard. All right. And then I'm going to pull, how are we doing for time? Oh my God, Sagittarius. I always give you the longest readings. So real quick, if Sagittarius wants to know money in November, what can I tell Sagittarius? Money in November. What can I tell them, please? Money in November for Sagittarius. Judgment. Yeah, you need to fix a relationship because your money is stuck because of it. Doesn't mean you have to go and start, banging your ex again, though you can, right? But there's something about, and it's probably with your family too. There's bad blood or an awkward situation where just energetically, karmically, because it's blocking your heart space, it's also blocking like your ability to allow financial abundance into your life. Fix the relationship and the money comes with it. You may end up moving in with a new partner, and all of a sudden you find a new job and it's like, oh, there's so many more opportunities here for me. I wish I had done this years ago. Any musicians out there? Yeah, you may end up, we're going to transition to love. A relationship with someone who's a musician, or that could be you, Sagittarius. The money starts to come when you recognize that. Some of you, yeah, again, that feels like I could never make a living as a musician. Yes, you can. That's what the cards are saying. Stop denying it. You need to do that, Sagittarius. All right, moving on to love. These are going to be some quicker messages about love. Let's do one of these too. I don't know if this is going to have to do with love, but we'll try for it. I just want to throw an oracle card. Sagittarius, please. What does Sagittarius need to hear about love? Some of you may end up being financial advisors. The garden and the gate. Are you willing to walk away from the comfort zone, the familiarity, the generational expectation of what you were meant to do? Are you willing to step away and be the wild card of the group? You know you're supposed to. Some of you are meant to dance on stage. She looks like a little ballerina. Yeah, I mean, that card of the woman speaking on stage, maybe you're a public speaker, maybe you're an advocate, maybe you're really involved in politics and government, right? With your Pisces. Yeah. All right, let's talk about love. Sagittarius, love life. Tell me about Sagittarius' love life, please. Be vulnerable. Scorpio season and Sagittarius season, right? When does that start? Is it like October, or I'm sorry, November? Is it like November 21st or something? Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Happy early birthday. All right. I think I saw the Virgo card. 10 of Cups with a Virgo. So there might be marriage with a Virgo. Ew. All right, so you keep spiraling your head over the Gemini. The Gemini who fooled ya. They were like a liar, cheater, thief. There was like shady activities going on. It created like a labyrinth in your head. It's like a bad Hitchcock movie. It's like Vertigo. No, it's not a bad Hitchcock movie. Anyway, you keep going around and around and around, and you keep coming to the same conclusion. Wow, I really love them, but they're kind of an asshole. I keep seeing that scenario replaying over and over and over again. So you're not going to be able to justify one or the other. It's like a package deal. If you're going to love them, they're still going to continue to be an asshole, and they're probably not going to commit to you. And just to be clear, I love my Geminis. This is not an attack against Geminis, but you'll know if this is your message. If there's a Gemini who they just can't get their shit together, and there is like some infidelity here, right? That's not all Geminis, but this one in particular, it seems like they really broke your heart because you really felt the passion for them. This person may have even tattooed your name, or you may have gotten matching tattoos or matching jewelry or something about... She literally has like the little archers, right? There's something where it felt like it was undeniable that they were yours and you were theirs and this and that. And then this happened, and it's like you want so badly for things to be just right. And I'm just sort of getting, for this foreseeable future, there's a lot of complications here. The Seven of Swords is not a great card. I just got to be honest with you. So that's one message. If you're really struggling with a Gemini, and no matter how hard you try to force it to fit or justify it, there's always leftovers. There's always, yeah, it's like it just doesn't work out. It's like a math puzzle you just can't solve. It's unsolvable, at least for a while. So I would give that some space and see what happens organically, because you might meet someone else who treats you much better, or vice versa. They may finally profess to you, you know what, I found someone else, in which case it's going to be real easy for you to justify why they weren't there, why they weren't yours, because they moved on, right? I know that's a hard one. Okay, let's do happy ones. Let's get some positive ones. I'm sorry that was a harsh one, but that does happen. It's not always the messages we want to hear. It's what we need to hear, right? Especially someone who's a hairdresser, or they have really beautiful flowing locks of hair. That's probably you, Sagittarius, right? Someone who has good hair. Anyway, moving on. Feathers. You're going to see feathers, and that's a symbol from your angel guides or your spirit guides. With, a random feather by your doorstep or on your car, or... There's something significant about that. All right. There's someone trying to manifest either a brand new beginning with you, or just simply you in their life. I don't know if this is an ex or... Yeah, it's like they have a great amount of feelings for you, and it feels like, I don't know if they give you a lot of compliments and they're hoping you return them, or they're hoping you feel the same way. This doesn't really feel like a trickster. This actually feels like a very spiritual person. They may wear a lot of jewelry. They feel like you are a gift sent, like a heaven-sent gift to them from the universe. But yeah, I'm not sure if you know how you feel about them. Someone in here is absolutely manifesting with clarity. I want this person. I love that person. The other person is like, I don't know. How do I, like, hangman, get a new perspective? Like, how do I actually feel about them? It's not that they don't necessarily feel love, especially if this is something that you guys have been in for a bit now. It seems like there is potential for reciprocity, but I do have to say it's like someone is doing more effort. It's like they're putting in more energy, and the other person is doing more of the receiving. And I do think this has to do more with compliments. Like the one who really wants to lock it down, I think this is your person, Sagittarius. They keep kind of making offers to you, and you're kind of like, I just got to think about it, or I don't know, or I'm not sure, or something like that. So give me more on that. And feel free to reverse the roles, right? Especially if it's with a Pisces, a Gemini, a Virgo. Hopefully this is a new Gemini, because we know where this one stands, right? All right. What's the potential outcome? I think this person, if you guys have been together for a while, this person may have developed a forceful attitude of really trying to get you to commit or whatever it is. It feels like they've laid off of that. It feels like they're trying to give you some time and space to think about it. Maybe this represents like a trial separation or however, whatever you want to call it, time apart. But they are hoping that you have a change of heart and decide that they are the one. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking, and it's using logic and reasoning. It's a very good card, But it's almost like absence makes the heart grow fonder. So this may have been a situation where you guys ended up cutting it off. Not because there were terrible feelings involved. It wasn't. But yeah, I don't know. Someone is really invested in this and they are hurting that you're not in their life anymore. You definitely still think about them, but he's also the least emotional king. So you're not showing hand, or you're not wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's not that you're trying to keep them guessing. It's that I think you really don't know. So I almost feel like I'm reading for the cross watchers. So what else can I tell Sagittarius about? Like, what is the outcome? And maybe this is reversed, right? Especially if you're dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You may be the one in limbo. And so it could indicate that there might be some separation here for someone to figure out what they really want or how they really feel, which that's good, right? If you're in it and someone is a little bit lackluster, that's hard to be like, okay, I'll just wait, right? So in a sense, take it as a divine gift from the universe that time apart will actually help you both gain a lot of clarity on where each other stands and about what feelings really surface when you think about this person or in this relationship. Because if you're constantly in Three of Swords, if I'm heartbroken and I want them, but they don't want me, then you're really not getting as much benefit from this relationship as you are kind of the opposite, right? If it's really lowering your vibe and breaking your heart, that's a sign that something in this relationship isn't healthy because it's not raising your vibration, right? It's keeping you down. It's keeping you stuck. You're settling for love because you may be seeking it from someone whose heart is not in the same place as you. So I will say, though, for those of you, if any of this makes sense, you will probably communicate with this person again. In fact, I know you will. With King of Swords and Page of Wands, really good communication cards, but again, I have no cups. So I'm not sure if the communication is going to be, I love you and I've always known it, but you can at least talk about it in a mature way when you give it time and space and distance. Somebody understands. Whoever needed to gain more perspective on what this was, I think they do finally come in with clarity. And I mean, I'll be honest, it could go either way. For some of you, it will be very positive. For others of you, it's going to be like, yeah, I'd rather just be friends. So that's one more message. All right, Sag, this is a long one. One more message of love. What deck should we do? Let's do this one. Why not? I never use this deck. Well, who are you waiting on? You're waiting on another Sagittarius, or someone is waiting on you? The surfer, the one who spends a lot of time at the ocean, or the one who loves to swim? There's anxiety, but there's 10 of Cups there. So someone might be waiting for someone to get a divorce. That might be you, Sagittarius, or vice versa. Or if you might be waiting for marriage. Hold on. There's so many messages coming through here. So it might be the water sign, the one who surfs or is by water, the one who lives by water. Waiting for... This feels like a male Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. The one who's always hanging out with the boys and doing the guy stuff. I don't know. You're really putting your person through the ringer here. Why aren't you communicating with them? Because you've already moved on to the air sign? But then there's going to be Ace of Wands. I don't even know what to do with that. I can't leave you guys hanging now. Don't wait for people if they're already married. It's not worth it. I'm not saying it could never come around, but don't make it your business, right? Release and, let go and let God. If you're waiting on someone who's married, you're investing your time in the wrong avenue. For some of you waiting on marriage, I don't know. It could take off in a positive direction. Six of Swords, if you're able to move past the struggle and chaos between you, there's chance for Ace of Wands, new passion, electricity, a newfound spirituality. But it does seem like there's an awkward conversation that you guys need to have. For some of you, you're going to end up divorcing and dividing your assets, splitting up. But even so, right after that, you have a new beginning and you have new love. Ace of Pentacles, especially with a Pisces, and Page of Cups. And then you have marriage, yeah. So that for some of you, that looks like marriage. For others of you, it might be a divorce. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm sorry. I actually wish I hadn't started that message because I didn't mean to confuse you. But it was bottom of the deck and then I kept picking at them. All right, one more message of love. Sagittarius. Sagittarius looking for love. What can I tell my Sagittarians? King of Wands. So another Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I don't like this deck. I'm sorry. I do actually. I love this deck. It's beautiful. I just don't like the interpretations of them. So there's possible Ace of Cups with a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they're a little bit defensive right now. Like they have their walls up. And it's probably because they have two people they're deciding between. Yeah, Three of Cups. So it's like a third party thing. It's not necessarily that there's infidelity or cheating, but if you're waiting on another fire sign, they're determining who they want to invest time in. They're really holding out for a Pisces, though. That's sort of what I see. There will be communication, especially from an earth sign, especially an Aquarius or a Gemini. An Aquarius or a Gemini has finally decided. They're done. An Aquarius or a Gemini, if you've been waiting on do we or don't we, they 10 of air, 10 of voices, 10 of swords. There we go, found it. 10 of swords is like a brutal ending, but it's like no. Okay, switching decks. I'm not into that. I know. I'm giving you one more. All right. Love for Sagittarius. Guys, your love has been tricky, hasn't it? I acknowledge that. These have not been happy, cheery messages of love. I'm sorry. One more for Sagittarius, please. Sagittarius' love life. Some of you, if you're looking for brand new love, you may meet someone through a friend of a friend, especially if you have a fire sign friend. You may go out socially and meet a mutual friend of theirs. Again, it could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Especially if they wear something that has flowers. They may have a tattoo of a flower or something that plays homage to their mother, or they could have jewelry, something with flowers on it. And even males, they may have like a rose tattoo or something with flowers. That's just a confirmation. There's a brand new beginning with someone who kind of fits that description. Ew, no, not taking the Five of Swords. Nope. Some of you are looking to rekindle something of the past, possibly with an Aquarius who lied to you. That's up to you, Sag. I don't know. Four of Pentacles, it says it's because you don't want to leave the comfort zone. You're holding on to that because it's familiar, but release control. Let it go. All right, brand new message. Give me something positive, please, for Sagittarius. What can we tell them that will make them happier, empower them? The universe is like, nope. All right, so possible 10 of Pentacles. So long-term, generational, like long-lasting love with an earth sign. Or a fire sign, Sag. You got, or maybe that's you. Are you in love with someone who's married? Someone who's conflicted because they're thinking about getting a divorce, or they're kind of flirting with you even though they're married? That's sort of what this says to me. It's like the wife and then the Sagittarius, male or female. Gosh, this is complicated. Yeah, there's a tower there. I would not pursue. Yeah, that came up earlier. If someone's married, I would not pursue that. It's... Ew. God, this is rough. Okay. Breathing in, positive vibes. Let's get one more positive message for love for Sagittarius. Thank you. Who are you stuck in your head about? Maybe this isn't a good, or maybe this is a, okay. It is a time of release and letting go. Something that was holding you back, or you felt like your life was put on pause. Maybe you were dealing with a messy divorce or a breakup or something in your life that it just felt kind of like, I hate to overuse this word, but it felt kind of toxic. Universe is saying we can close that out. We can be done with it. We don't need to hold on to that anymore. Again, potentially with a Gemini, maybe a Capricorn. We can let that go. It's okay to release that. You should also message the Aquarius because the Aquarius wants to build with you. You may also have a Gemini coming in who views you as their wish fulfillment. It could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They view you as like the star in the sky, and they want to build with you. There's wish fulfillment vibes here. And this might also be someone you met at work or someone who wants to work with you. It's probably someone from your past, who maybe at the time one of you wasn't available because you were romantically attached to someone else. Yeah, someone wants to message you, especially someone from your past who views you as the end-all, be-all. But again, there's anxiety there, so I don't even know what to do with that. Yeah, whatever. Sagittarius, good luck. Sorry. These love messages, every time I'm like, hey, this looks good, it's like, oh, but somebody feels depressed. I don't know, Sag. I say focus on yourself. Love yourself first. That's always important. I'll hit you up in like another week with more love messages, but yeah, they're just not coming right now. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something out of these readings. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you very soon, I promise, for more love tarots. Positive, happy love tarots. All right, bye guys.